Fuck. All right, we're rolling.
Rolling.
Planet B
Presents
Cult and Culture Podcast.
Episode 63 of the Cult and Culture Podcast. I'm Justin Pearson.
I'm Luke Kinshop.
This episode is pretty gnarly for me, maybe for him. It features Kevin Doss from the band Downcast, legendary fucking singer of a rad hardcore band. Changed the trajectory of my life and probably a lot of other people, but just a great dude. He drove down from somewhere.
Can't say.
No, like north, east, or something, northwest, or something, LA, far, a few hours. So he came down to do the podcast. We dive into all kinds of stuff. But his personal life and his, I don't know, his empathy and his humanity is just insane. Such a great
pretty
guy.
gnarly.
Yeah.
That was
He's a firefighter, which is, he's seen some shit. We didn't really get into that, but anyhow, the dude's awesome. I'm so psyched we have this episode for you with him. Again, legendary guy, one of my favorite human beings on this planet. We have a lot of shit going on, so we're gonna let this roll, and we'll see you on the other side of the podcast.
good night.
Yeah, my name's Kevin Doss. I am a lot of things. I am a grandpa. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I'm a firefighter. And I am the singer for a hardcore band called Downcast that started in the early 90s on Ebullition Records.
That's very nice. That was great. I love how you prepped all the other things that are probably more important than Downcast.
Grandfather.
Yeah, my life is pretty layered in extremely positive ways, like an onion, I've been told a couple times, but I have a lot of great fucking things about my life. You're gonna try to make me cry in the first 2 minutes?
Yeah.
And
Maybe my violin.
I
We can edit that in.
yeah, I just my life has been so unexpected in so many ways, but getting married to my my high school girlfriend, who is by far the biggest influence on me, like interpersonally, and inspired me to be the man that I want to be in my life. And then her having two amazing daughters together, and then one of those daughters having two amazing kids who are like my soulmates now.
Wow, that's so cool.
It's awesome, and I and I love Downcast, and I love being a band. I love that we have reignited in our getting some momentum and playing some shows and all that stuff. But my life outside of music and my life outside of work is, it's incredible. It's remarkably incredible. It's way better than I ever thought as a kid or a teenager or a young adult that I ever thought it would be.
And it probably gives you peace and happiness and all of the things that help you go and deal with all the other stuff. And then you can, expel it through music, I suppose, or your job or something.
100%.
Yeah.
They're like an anchor for me in a good way. Like they anchor me to like keeping perspective on things. It's really hard to get too bogged down on, like my daughter had her second baby like almost exactly a year ago, March 19th, and she almost died in childbirth, which you don't hear about very often, but she like almost bled to death, and she didn't. And it was like super traumatic and it was super gnarly. And there was a moment in time where my wife was in the ER with her and she said, "Ruby's gone." And I was talking to her on the phone and she threw the phone. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Like you get back on the fucking phone. And no one talked to me for like 15 minutes. And so there was about 15 minutes where I thought my daughter had died. She had to have like an emergency removal of the placenta. She lost like half of her blood, which is like 99% of the time is fatal. She had to get a bunch of units of blood. Took her like 5 or 6 days to get out of the hospital. Now she's great, other than she can't eat eggs. She's acquired some sort of egg allergy, but she's like great. The baby's healthy, made it to the year anniversary.
Yes.
And that kind of stuff in the moment is, the gnarliest thing that's ever happened to me. And there's been a lot of gnarly things that have happened to me. Mm-hmm. And when you get to the other side, it's just like, I have no problems.
Yeah.
I can handle anything,
That's fucking crazy.
It's like a source of power. It was it was crazy. It
Wow.
was crazy. It fucked us up for a long time. It still is. It fucked my wife up for a while.
Did you seek therapy for that or anything?
I actually have been going to therapy off and on for a long time, but really intensely probably like the last 2 years.
Is it what's work related maybe?
Yeah, that's how it started. I work in South Central LA, and I work at like a really busy fire station, and we do fire and medical. And so we're the busiest station in LA County after midnight. It's a terrible, thing to be known for. But so I've been there for 17 years, but really working there in the field for probably 15. And, your brain, all the neuroscience around it, your brain has a hard time deciphering between trauma that you see and trauma that you actually experience yourself. And, for a long time, I thought I was kind of immune to all of it. I thought I was just wired different. We had some old guys, retired guys coming to the station and like talk to us about like, hey, you guys need to like handle your shit because when you retire, like that's when everything catches up to you and you're going to freak out. And I'm like telling the young guys, like, do you hear these guys? Like, you should listen to what they're saying. And they're like, well, what about you? And I'm like, I'm not wired like that. Like, I've seen more shit than you guys will ever fucking see. I've been here way too long, and it just doesn't affect me. And then all of a sudden, it just started to affect me. And I was like on a call, a very basic call. I was describing some injuries that this woman had suffered from like her boyfriend beating her up. And super gnarly, but I've literally probably seen that like 1,000 times, maybe more, let alone like, dead babies out of toilets and shootings and stabbings and all of the shit that goes with my job. And I was just on the phone with the hospital, like describing because we were going to take her to the trauma center. And I started to like choke up. And I was like, can you wait a second? And I got off the phone, took a couple deep breaths, got back on the phone, and I was just like, ooh, that's not good. I don't know what the fuck that is. And I literally went back to the station and started looking up therapists, and I found a therapist by my house and started seeing her on a pretty much regular basis.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and it's been life-changing. It's been amazing.
Do you think vocalizing it kind of brought it out? Like you kind of like in denial and like said it out loud and kind of brought it out?
I think that's part of it. I think a big key was me denying
You're hearing
it.
yourself.
Yeah, like it started with me going, yeah, I'm not like that. And then And then I've learned through therapy that I was also off for a long time during COVID. I had long COVID and it kind of fucked my lungs up and my head and stuff and my endocrine system. So I was off work for like 11 months, and I won't say that I was like suicidal, but I was not in a good space. I'll just say that. I don't deal well with not being able to do physical things. And I just had that time off, and that's when stuff started. I was just like up at 2 a.m, like remembering calls that I hadn't remembered for years, and
Shit.
you know, just weird shit like that. And then going back to work, verbalizing and vocalizing this thing that I'm describing, I was like hearing myself say it, and it was almost like I was separated from myself. Like, you know, it just was like, it got really emotional really quick. Like it was like, to the normal person, it would be super emotional, right? If you like rolled up on that and you're like, what the fuck, that lady got the shit kicked out of her. And these guys are just like all business. Because you have to care enough to want to work in that fucking place for as long as I did. And you have to be able to you have to step back enough.
Shield it.
Yeah, to compartmentalize it. And that's what I did really well for a long time. And that's how I was taught by the older guys that came before me. And so that's just how we did it. And then all of a sudden, like, I just started to have some cracks, and I just thought, I'm not going to wait until this shit gets gnarly. I'm just going to get into it now. And it's been awesome. Like, we talked about work. I went in wanting to talk about work, and then we were like talking about my dad and my childhood, and you know, my relationship with myself, my relationship with my kids, my relationship with my wife, like so much other stuff. And it was literally like a year before we even started talking about work.
Did you ever do EMDR therapy?
Is that where you make your eyes go like that?
It's supposed to like equate to like REM sleep, and you it's pretty fascinating stuff.
I think I need to. I did it one time with a friend of mine who's a Chinese herbalist and acupuncturist specialist. Yeah. And I started my first meeting with him. He did that with me, and I just kind of lost my shit. I started sobbing. Yeah. And I wasn't ready for it. And I'm actually glad you brought it up, because I feel like I'm ready for it now. I'm feeling a lot more regulated in my emotions about everything. Cause like for the longest time, last couple of years, I just been kind of like really fucked up. And I feel like I'm ready to take the next step, you know? Yeah. So
therapy's so strange, because I feel like maybe our generation, especially with gender constructs, like you didn't really have therapy, and like nowadays like everyone is, and it's interesting that like it's finally a thing where you can like comfortably go like, I have a therapist, and like that's self-help is fucking great, or self-care, you know.
I'm in, and it helps being a old punker too, or a hardcore kid, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, like having that. I mean, there's a part of me that I've been battling myself, right? Like the way I was raised, and all of the shit. And then, you know, you become a teenager and you start to look at that, and you find punk rock or whatever, and you start to like rebel against those things, and you want to, but it's still in you. Like you still are socialized for so much time.
Of course.
That it's like personality creating. And there's things that I really value about that. Like I value that I can work hard. I value that I'm not afraid to walk down a street and fight anybody. I'm not, you know, I'm just, that's how it is. Like they'll kick my ass now because my shoulders are all fucked up and I'm old.
Do you know like any fighting techniques or anything, or you just scrap?
I just don't stop until I get killed, until they kill me. But you know, my dad was gnarly and, you know, beat up on me, you know, randomly as a kid. I got in a lot of fights, and I just, you know, I'm just not afraid of violence. I played a lot of like football growing up, and like the more violent, the better. And hardcore and punk rock really sort of like served that at the beginning.
Like before Downcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the Jackie Robinson, right? Is that what that was? Or like Fenders, or what? Because you'd seen some shit, right? Like.
Yeah, we've been to Fenders. There's a lot of skinheads back then.
Yeah,
there's a lot of fights, a lot of crazy stuff at Fenders, and we used to go when I was transitioning into like learning about punk rock. I started making friends because I didn't have like the normal trajectory where I was like an outcast, and punk rock saved me from you know social like. I wasn't like a social outcast leper, you know. I was like raised to be super violent, I think if I would have been a white supremacist, my parents would have been okay with it.
Me too.
Yeah,
It's a weird thing to think about,
It's
yeah.
a weird thing to think.
Yeah.
My dad less so in some ways.
Disappointed them.
Yeah, yeah. Just because they were just doing the best they could with how they were raised.
Yeah.
You know, I've come to that realization a long time ago. It wasn't ill. There wasn't ill will there. They were just, my dad was trying to raise me hard so that I wouldn't get fucked up by the world, and he felt really fucked up by the world.
Yeah.
And
Whoa.
and he you know, verbalized that I was going to get fucked up by the world too, but he's going to do his best to make that not happen, kind of thing.
That's
And-
really crazy to have that perception or
Yeah.
at least the knowledge of what you think maybe your dad was, his angle was.
Yeah,
That's wild.
it's been great to realize that, because for a long time I just grew up thinking I can't wait to get the fuck out of here and
Yeah.
never come back, and
Yeah.
I'll never be like these,
yeah.
you know, these guys. And it's not like, you know, my dad didn't get killed. My dad was with us. You know, we were together. My parents didn't get along. They probably should have been divorced, but they were together. I wasn't in a broken home. We lived in suburbia. Like, we had everything that we wanted. It just was like really dysfunctional and angry and a kind of a shitty place. There was like always this undercurrent of like potential violence.
Also growing up in the 80s and
Yeah.
shit, that just
It's
was
normal.
fucking
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to jump too much into like the music stuff, but I think like, do you think that your perception of everything you've just said, because to me it like, and I don't want to like, because I know you're very self-deprecating, but I want to say like I was on that punk rock trajectory where like I listened to like really shitty music. I also listened to good shit, but like, you know, I remember like having these friends being like, we're playing at Gilman Street, let's go. And Carlos Huerta, who was in Peaches and Rice and a bunch of bands, he was like, dude, Downcast is playing. And I was like, cool, I don't know what that is, but like,
Yeah.
I want to go with you guys. And I remember like the day we left, he played it, and I was like, this is fucking crazy music. And we got in the back of this rented U-Haul truck with a couch and drove to Berkeley to see you play. And it was really wild because even like the music stuff aside, there was the aesthetic thing, which I thought was like very interesting. I don't know how you guys created it, and hopefully you can explain it to me. But like, I remember being so excited to see you, and this is when people could still smoke. So there was like a couple things that happened. It was a shitty turnout. All the bands that you were playing with were bad. Even the one that I went up there with, you know, it was like pop punk music, and it was just. But it was weird that you were even playing on that show. And I remember there was these, you know, like the dumb punk kind of like people, and there was this young kid. For one, I just, because I'm hyper vigilant about everything around me always, and I was like watching this kid, and he had a cigarette kind of dangling from his mouth, and he was just kind of like cruising around like he was gonna start moshing. And I remember someone like asking if he wanted a light, and he's like, nah, and he was literally just had it like as a look. But then I was like, I just remember like you guys came on the stage, and everybody was like smoking inside, and you're like, hey, this is kind of fucked up. Like, we're not really into this. Can you please stop? And like no one responded. I was like, fuck, that's pretty crazy, dude, that he even asked. Because yeah, smoking fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It's a dumb thing. And I was just like, wow, that's crazy that you guys that you just said that and like no one reacted. And then I just remember like the kid with the cigarette, whatever, was like moshing, and people were just like kind of fucking him up because he was a dipshit. And you were like, hey, you guys don't have to do that. And I was just like, what the fuck is this band doing? You know, and like you're just telling people not to do all of the things that like normal punks do.
Yeah.
And then you played, I swear you played 4 songs, and Brent hurled himself over the amp, and he said he fucking broke his arm. But you guys stopped, and I was like, fuck, I drove up here for 4 songs, but it was the best fucking 4 songs I'd ever seen, you know?
Yeah.
Like the anti
Yeah.
bullshit
Yeah.
thing that you guys had was you were the first to me to ever expose that. you
Yeah.
know?
Well, I appreciate that. I think, you know, I feel like the energy around our band was very, very dysfunctional, had a lot of problems. We were young. We didn't communicate with each other very well. We were angry. We didn't know a lot of stuff, right? We didn't know how to be good friends to each other. There was so much stuff that we struggled with because of just how young and immature we were. But one thing that we, you know, the way it started was I played in some bands with Dave in high school. Nothing. I played drums, Dave played bass. Just dirt party bands trying to figure out how to play instruments, you know. But we were listening to punk, and so we were trying to emulate things. And then I went to Santa Barbara to go to school, and I met Brent, like at a salad bar in the dorm food area thing. I had like a Blast bracelet that I had written in whiteout on the leather bracelet that I found at a show or something. It said Blast.
Wow, that's so punk.
It was so punk. And I didn't know. I was like, this is pre knowing Kent,
Yeah.
pre everything, you know.
Kent Ebullition.
Yeah, Kent from Ebullition and Sonia and Brent. Those three were like a unit to me. But he's like, hey, you're into Blast? And I was like, what the fuck? How do you know who Blast is? Like the only connection I had was Dave.
Yeah. And was Brent wearing a Metallica shirt?
No, but he was wearing some hardcore shirt, right? Because you're flying the flag, like you had to fly the flag there because it was like, fuck this university and the drinking and all the stuff all the crazy stuff that's happening. You had to like I had a shaved head. It was the first time I ever shaved my head. It was right before I went to school there, like trying to just really differentiate. And I was like, yeah, I'm in a Blast. Like, how, what? And he's like, you want to go get lunch? And I'm like, sure. So we sat and had lunch and we started talking about music. And he's like, hey, do you want to go to this radio show? This guy Kent and Sonia do this radio show on like Tuesday nights, like midnight to 2 or something. We'd go skate and then we could go listen to this radio show. It's all like hardcore. And I'm like, yeah, I'm in. And I'd been listening to some stuff, but nothing that he was playing, like some occasional thing. But I've been listening to like Uniform Choice and 7 Seconds. And I was making friends with some of the punk kids at the school, and we were going to shows, and you know, it was getting kind of rowdy and all that stuff. But I hadn't been exposed to the hardcore trajectory that I was going to go on.
And this is in Isla Vista, right?
Yeah. It's in Isla Vista, and so it was great. It was like I finally met some people. Like I played football there. Like I couldn't get into the school on my grades, and my dad was like, well, I don't have money for you for school. Your brother's smart. You need to go get a fucking job and join the military.
Oh my God.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, what if I played football? He goes, well, if you play football, I'll pay for your first year. You'll still have to get a job and supplement it. But so I went and played football because I was pretty good at football. I was small, but I was like really strong and mean and all that stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. Very violent. I wasn't mean. I was very violent. And I met these people, and they were like changed my trajectory. Like my wife, like Dave changed my trajectory. Dave introduced me to punk rock, and we've been friends since 3rd grade. My wife introduced me to like being some amount of like consciousness, and even though we both came from Canyon Country, she had already like developed like this really high level of consciousness, and helped me to start trying to move in that direction.
When you say consciousness, do you mean like social awareness, or what do you? Yeah,
self-awareness, social awareness. You know, like I was still like thinking about punk rock in terms of all the energy and going to shows and jumping off the stage and fighting skinheads and going in the pit and all the energy around it. But I wasn't thinking about what actually 7 Seconds was singing about, or unity, or social, like social change, the politics of it, and how you could live it and also try to make the world a better place through punk rock. It was just an outlet for all this fucking anger and rage that I had basically towards my dad that I expressed on a football field, which is why I was so good. And then I started expressing it at shows and through the music. And then I met these people they're fucking radicals. They were fucking smart, way smarter than me, way smarter than I'll ever be. They were into the politics of it. Kent had already been into hardcore for a long time and put on shows, and Brent, same with Sonia, and I got to just like go every Tuesday night and hang out with these people. And then we started to get close. So I'd already committed to leaving school. My girlfriend, who's now my wife, but at the time was my girlfriend, was going to College of the Canyons, a community college, and I was hitchhiking home every weekend to see her because I didn't have a car. And I was just like, this place sucks. I don't want to fucking go to school here. I didn't have any friends. I was not having a good time. I wasn't doing that great in school. I did not want to play football anymore. It was fucking stupid. I was just over it. I was like transitioning into this other part of my life, and I wanted to be with my girlfriend. And so I left school. Well, when I left school, I got in a band with Mike Hartsfield from New Age Records and Outspoken, and Dan Adair, who's a friend of mine. We all went to high school together. And we wrote a couple songs and I sang and we played like one show, and Brent came to the show because we'd been friends at the time.
What was that band called?
Stomping Ground.
I never even heard of that.
Yeah, good. There is some video that we play at a show at. I want to say I have like blue monkey boots on, maybe. I'm not sure.
Cool.
But it was like going in the direction, because Mike was writing the music, and it was going in the direction of, at the time, of like the band like Against the Wall and like that kind of straight edge thing. And as soon as like Brett came to the show, and he's just like, "Fuck, I want. Can I come in? I think this is how it all went. I could be wrong. I want in." We're like, "Yes." 2 guitars sounds amazing. And Mike was like, "I'm out. I'm going in Against the Wall." I'm like, "Great, because we got this guy." And then we were like, started playing, and that's when it started. Like Brent, he's the evil genius. He's the mastermind. He's like, "Is this what we want to do? Do we want to do what we're seeing at these shows? Or do we want to be ourselves? Do we want to do something different? Do we want to talk about the things that that might be more important than not?" I'm not trying to talk shit. In my opinion, there's things that are more important than getting stabbed in the back by your buddy who had an X on his hand the week before, and this next week he drank
straight
at a
edge is
party.
fucking stupid. I'll say it. I'll talk shit.
I think the self-destructive nihilism that happened to a lot of people
Punk rock.
as teenagers and punk rockers
it's stupid.
sucks.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
And so trying to do something different, which I think is what Ian MacKay's intention was, is important. And of course, as everything does, more people get involved, it gets convoluted, the toxic masculinity thing starts to happen, the fucking brotherhood shit, all that stuff starts to come into play, and we're just like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Like, I'd already been a part of that as a young child with like football and sports, and I didn't want
And
like,
with punk.
with punk. I didn't want I didn't want that. Brent didn't want that. We got Dave, who's, Dave's one of the most amazing fucking people I've
like
ever
a
known
monk.
in my life. He's amazing. We got him, and it just started this thing where we were like, and Dave never liked Downcast. He never liked the music. He just, it was too metal for him. But he was really into
Playing bass, we should just say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was really into the idea that we were going to fucking speak our minds and not just go along with whatever the fuck was going on. And if that meant we got into conflict, we got into conflict, which is not easy for me. People maybe have a, recollection and memories and stuff that I've said at shows or whatever. I just kind of black out because I'm an introvert. Like, I don't like conflict. I had a lot of conflict growing up. I've spent a lot of time trying to avoid conflict in my life. And at the same time, if I'm going to do a fucking band and we're going to work hard, I want to represent for those guys as hard as we can do what it is that we're doing. And so if people are fucking smoking at the shows, I'm going to fucking say something. And if some kid's getting fucking picked on and bullied by a bunch of fucking fuckers that have no right or no business, I'm going to fucking intervene. I'm going to say something. I might even get down in the pit and fight somebody. And I don't like to fight. I don't promote violence. But, that's how we've always been. It's always just been like, we're going to be ourselves. I think you've even talked, I've heard you talk, like the guys kind of showed up on the stage and like, they look like they just came from the beach or something. It's like, like I was young, so I was stupid and had dreadlocks, and they were.
I mean, you were like you looked like a surfer.
Yeah, bleached.
You have a peace tattoo somewhere.
Yeah,
I was like, who's this surfer guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, this is who I am, and also we're gonna go as hard as you've ever fucking heard.
Hard.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that, and that was our jam.
Which was funny because you would look at a lot of bands at that time that were essentially like hard, and they were just like boring and not hard. But when you see you guys, it's just like, oh, this is fucking next level shit.
Brent is I think, when we started, it had a certain level of every band that starts out and learning instruments and all that stuff, right?
But the first thing was a 7-inch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it really stands up.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the song structures are simple. The chords are simple, but he put it together we put those songs together in, I think, a really great fucking way. And I just wanted to represent my feeling. I wrote some of the lyrics on that. He wrote some of the lyrics on that. And all those lyrics are fucking angry, really angry. And I hold a lot of anger in my heart. I don't have a problem expressing that or saying that. And I want that to come through if we're singing shit that we're fucking angry about. And so I try to make the vocals as and the representation of the band as the front person or front man or whatever. I just want to go as hard as we fucking can every time we play.
At that time, out of all punk bands, you know, they're like, I have a reference point, like, you know, like listening to Nausea and stuff, like it's pretty angry, you know, or whatever band you want to pick. But like when I heard that 7-inch, it's just like, what the actual fuck is going on here? And the funny thing is, I remember hearing it, playing it for these friends of mine that lived down the street. They were like in this metal band, and they were like, "This is weird." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "I was like, this is like the coolest shit I've ever heard, and it kind of sounds metal." And they're like, "It's like Metallica without solos." And I was like, "That's cool, because solos are dumb."
Yeah.
But I was like, dude, Metallica though. I was like, listen to this singer. He sounds like a fucking unhinged, like just, I don't know.
That's how I felt.
Warlock, you know? And then there's like you're going to reference James Hetfield? Come on, dude. Like, you know, it's like next level. So it was interesting because you kind of came out on the forefront of like the more metal stuff. And like you surpassed anything that might have been happening at that point, in my opinion.
We both, and that was the other thing is, Brent, thank you, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, sitting with, you know, for the world, sitting with two musical geniuses here.
Fuck off.
No, you know, I mean, come on.
Don't derail this conversation.
I'm not, but
Okay.
I know you said I was self-deprecating, but I just for a second I have to say the books, the lyrics, the tone, the intention of the bands from struggle to swing kids to some girls to, and I won't even get them all, but Def Club revisiting swing kids. Like I saw you guys a year ago. It was fucking incredible. Planet B, like what the fuck? Planet fucking B? Like what the fuck? Planet B with Luke, you know? De La Frontera with Luke. Like the fucking genius in this that I'm sitting across from in this room is insane to me. And so to be complimented is, I appreciate that. Like people compliment people all the time, but it doesn't hold the same weight.
Thank you.
So no, thank you.
Because I think it's kind of crazy because you could say like when you were saying like the structure of the first 7-inch was simple and the chords were basic chords, like that all makes sense. But everything's like kind of already been played to some extent.
Yeah.
But you can, the way you delivered it, and I don't want to say packaged it because that sounds like a marketing thing. But the way you delivered it to the world was done in a way that was so. For me and a lot of people, we're seeing that right now, life-changing. It was like, as much as like, you know, we can shit on ourselves here for what we do, and you can do it too. But like, you came at a time and point that was like, hey, we're gonna just shift the trajectory to this other thing, and that was really insane for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because I remember like seeing you guys play shows where you were just like, kind of, we're telling people like, yo, just sit down in the pit so people can't mosh. And I didn't really like. At first I didn't understand it, but then I was like, yeah, this is kind of rad because like I was a little person, smaller kid, you know, and I was like, there were like my friends here, they were getting fucked up and getting and also like we were, you know, with a lot of not like the Nazi skinhead thing was like a big deal at shows. So like I was like, fuck, that's cool because I did feel threatened. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that too. I you know, I know we've been criticized over the years, like every once in a while I'll see something online or whatever, and that stuff doesn't bother me at all. I was 19, 20, 21 years old. I played actively till I was like 25 or 26 till I had my daughter. And, you know, fronting a band and coming from, you know, we saw Black Flag Minutemen and the Ramones, Dave and I, in 1984. And it was like the scariest fucking show I still have ever been to.
That show happened with those three bands?
Yeah. It was insane. People were jumping off of the balcony at the Palladium as a stage dive.
Wow.
We were.
What was the billing
children.
order of that?
I was actually thinking about it the other day.
I mean, obviously Ramones headline, but
It was Ramones, and then in my recollection is the Minutemen played. They weren't even on the marquee. Then Black Flag played, then the Ramones. And it was just total fucking mayhem, and it was scary as fuck. But, you know, I've been in lots of pits. I've done lots of stage diving. I've gotten in lots of fights. And also, at some point, I just thought, from where I came from, you sort of went around in a circle, and you were violent and expressing yourself and doing your thing. And if you fell down, somebody fucking picked you up.
Mm-hmm.
And you just kept going. It was like there was like a camaraderie there that was happening. And what I started to see was we were playing this gnarly music, and these big gnarly fucking guys would come to the shows.
Downcast shows.
Yeah. Or any shows.
Yeah.
And they would go out into the pit, and they'd stand in the middle, and someone would be going around, and they'd fucking punch them. Or they'd go around in the pit, and they'd punch people in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Or they would just start doing shit. Like, we've never had a problem with people dancing.
Yeah.
Even
the violence,
moshing, doing their thing. But when people are, like, repeatedly getting kicked in the face by, like, the same fucking 190-pound, 17-year-old kid that keeps stage diving, and he's all yoked because he just came from football practice. Like, I'm like, dude, I get it. Like, you're having fun, but you're having fun at these other people's expense. And so not knowing what to do with that, sometimes it would be like I would just jump out there and sing in the middle of the pit and try to, like, be a human shield for people. And sometimes we would grab people, and sometimes I would just be like, fuck, can you guys just fucking stop? Like, just leave. Like, no one fucking wants you here. Like, you're fucking everything up. And I don't remember specifically telling people to sit down, but Dave remembers it, and I feel like maybe that was the wrong call. Maybe it was I don't fucking know, but it just felt like
it seemed like a boss
we wanted
move.
to address what was happening.
Yeah, totally.
We didn't want to just be a soundtrack for random fucking dudes doing random fucking violence to people. And honestly, I don't really give a fuck what people think about that. Like, if Waddy walked in right now and said, "You're fucking," whatever word that he would use to degrade me as a man,
he'd call you a cunt.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I would take that and just be like, yeah,
but
that's your thing.
Yeah.
And also, do you want to go outside and fucking fight right now? 'Cause I guarantee you I'm tougher than you. Like, I'm tougher than all those guys that were doing that shit to those people.
Yeah.
They're just bullies. I hate bullies.
Yeah.
Like, the way I was raised, there was no way in my life I was going to allow to see bully fucking behavior.
Yeah. At your show. Because you kind of do, like, it is your performance.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At our show.
Do whatever you want after we're done. But
And because we have that opportunity in that stage to maybe, and I think that it's all of those things, because I don't understand it either. You know, we were just doing our thing, and we were a flash in the pan. We were broken up after, like, a U.S. tour and a European tour. It wasn't like we were around for very long, but people tell us we changed their lives, and now we're starting to play again, and people are like, fuck. Like, there's people that are like, fuck, you changed my life. I can't wait to see you in San Diego. Fuck, I can't wait to see you. By the way, I got into hardcore in, like, 94, and you guys weren't playing. You never played again. I never got to see you. Like, some dude drove up from L.A. a couple weeks ago to Lompoc and saw us play. And he was just like, I cannot wait to tell my friends in Little Rock that I got to fucking see you guys.
Wow.
They're not going to fucking believe it. Like, when we take a picture, I'm like, I guess. I mean, I got a face for radio, but fuck, if you want to take a photo with me, that's fine. You know? But, like, I don't know. I think it was a combination of, like, timing. I think it was a combination of us just trying to be ourselves, not really giving too much of a fuck what other people thought. Having the record come out on Ebullition as its first release was interesting and cool. Like,
so the 7-inch was the first Ebullition release.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Inside Out. It was supposed to be. He asked Inside Out to do it, and they said yes. And then they
it came out on Rev though.
Yeah, Rev asked them, and they're like, oh yeah, a new, like, again,
yeah.
You are not going to hear me judge very many. I'll judge the fuck out of Nazis, but I still think that it's probably because they were just raised wrong. But I'm not going to judge Zach and Vic or those guys for fucking going to Rev. Like,
that was a cool ass label at the time.
Yeah. If Rev would have asked us, we would have said, fuck you. We already said yes to Kent. That's as much of shit I will talk about Inside Out for doing that. But but that also makes so much sense. They belong on that. And Kent was like, we were seconds, and Kent was like, well, do you guys want to I'm starting this label. Do you guys want to be the first release? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, how about if I do a zine and we do an interview?
Yeah.
You know, and I still cringe reading that interview because it was still me forming a lot of my ideas. And I would have loved to have just sat and listened to Kent and Sonia and Brent and Dave talk about their thoughts. I love.
Oh, because the 7-inch came in no answers.
It came together.
I forgot about that.
It was like a package deal for like $5.
Yeah.
You got the No Answer zine with the Downcast interview in it. And
I'm gonna have to revisit that interview.
Yeah. I'm sure I say quite a few dumb things, but you know, I was where I was in my development. I you know.
I mean, in context, I don't know if that makes it dumb. I think it makes, you know.
I'll say I didn't say anything that was like fucked up.
Yeah.
But it just things that I just hadn't thought of. Like,
yeah, of course.
Kent's really good at like going, what do you think about pornography? And I'm like, I specifically remember like, I wish I could revisit that 6 months later. You know, because I've learned a lot about how I feel about those things instead of I should have just shut the fuck up and let somebody else answer.
Sure.
But had to learn the hard way.
I mean, we were all part of like that whole like. Well, you at least. I mean, I feel very grateful that I've worked with a lot of people of color, and that definitely changed my perspective of things. And even just like last week, a person that plays drums with me was like, "You're coming from a white person's perspective." I'm like, "Fuck," you know, and like you just like. But I think that was like a helpful thing to do.
Yeah, it is, and I think having a consciousness around that is the best you can do.
Yeah.
Like either that or just go, you know what, maybe we shouldn't fucking do anything. Maybe we should just shut the fuck up and let other people play.
Of course.
And that's cool, except I like playing music.
Me too.
And
Sing about
I like
yoga.
Yeah.
Well, but like
Yeah,
I remember
exactly.
this first. I don't know if it was like the first tour, some like early tour that Struggle went on. We were playing. We were booked to play Gilman, and Tribe 8 was playing, and they said, "No, that band cannot play to Struggle because there's no women in the band." And we're just like, "What the fuck?" And like I was kind of mad, but then I was kind of like, "That's kind of rad, I guess." I'm gonna just be like, "That's cool. We're gonna have the night off."
What a great opportunity to be exposed to that.
Completely.
Because so many people don't.
Like,
right?
should they have dissed us like that?
Probably
Probably not,
not.
because we're allies. But
100%.
they didn't know who we were.
Yeah.
You know, there was no fucking internet or whatever.
Yeah. And sometimes the fucking as privileged as you guys were. I mean, yeah, you're white and there's privilege with that, but it's not like you guys are from Montecito, like RKL. Or, you know what I mean?
Oh,
Like you had you have your own trauma and your own shit, and not everyone sees that, but sometimes, you know, the white guy gets shit on.
But also
and
just
that's
like,
okay.
yeah, totally. Because the white guy's shitting on everyone else.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool. We're going to step back and let you have your platform.
Yeah.
And I think it was important.
Yeah.
And that was so early on in the fucking thing.
That's
where it's like-
incredible.
yeah. It's really nice to see that happen.
Yeah.
It was hard for me to like wrap my head around it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't like, fuck that band. I wanted to be that, but I wasn't able to. And I'm glad that I could see that.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's cool. But it's weird because I think maybe we went a little, I feel like maybe, I don't know, I guess I could say we, because Struggle was like Ebullition number 5 or something. I don't know what number it was, but like
Old school.
Yeah, but I feel like maybe we bit off a little bit more than we could chew, because we were like, everyone was like overly political and overly like, you can't do this and that, and then it was like almost like what Straight Edge was doing. And then we just fucked ourselves. But out of that came Antioch Arrow and Gravity and all these fucking wild things,
which is to me the beauty of well, you know, I hate the word, but like alternative music and alternative
Subcultures and stuff,
subcultures, right?
Yeah.
Like as soon as you start to get comfortable, you thinking you're fucking comfortable, someone is gonna be like, no, fuck you, you're fucked up. I'm gonna do this. It's like, okay, awesome. And you know, I've listened to a lot of your podcasts. I'm a big fan. I will eventually listen to all of them, and I will write down most of the things that Luke says, because it's going to be about
Around one sentence.
30 word sentence. Maybe I'll make a poem out of it. But I think you should have Kent McLard on here at some point.
I'm very critical of him, and I wish I wasn't, but he kind of hurt a lot of our feelings. Like, it was kind of lame.
Yeah. that's why I think maybe even not even a podcast.
Yeah, I'm
But
just gonna kick his ass.
I'm no. I prefer you guys having a cup of tea.
Yeah.
And talking stuff out. I have some friends from back then. Maybe I won't name them. From pretty heavy hitting bands that we played with back then
Mm-hmm.
that are not friends.
Mm.
They're not friends anymore. They got in a beef about something.
Mm-hmm. I still talk to Kent. We're friends.
Yeah. No, I think that's great.
Oh.
These guys don't.
Uh-huh.
These guys, and they're both awesome people.
Yeah.
You've had one of them on your podcast.
Huh.
I'm friends with all of them, but
Yeah.
they don't. There's a couple of them that just don't. They don't talk, and I've hit them both up. The first time in the recent history where I hung out with Sam McFeeters, being one of the people, he's like, "Hey, let's meet for some lunch or something." And it was like 6:00 at night because he's like a night owl.
He will not go to your show though.
Oh, I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't want him to.
I
He's
want.
gonna be
I know
criticize
it would be a little
criticize the fuck out of
Yeah.
it. Show up in a Uncle Sam costume or something crazy and show us up, or a bunny costume. I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do. He's like a performance artist in real life, but he's like the sweetest dude. Like, I love that guy. He's fucking awesome. I've always like thought he was a brilliant front person for Born Against and the bands after, and you know, he's super fucking smart. He's super creative. He's super prolific. Like you guys. Like he just doesn't stop working. And you know, we went and had some food and we sat down and he's like, "Do you mind if I record the conversation?" And I was just like, "Okay." Like, I thought we were just hanging out and having some food. And he's like, "Yeah, we are, but I like to." He hits click and he's like, "So why did you guys get on our tour?" I'm like, what the fuck? What's happening? And it ended up, you know, I can plead the fifth on so many things. It's not the fifth. It's literally because I don't remember things. I didn't have anything to do with it. But so we went through that, and then I hung out with him and his wife, Tara, at their house probably 6 months ago or something. And it was also really sweet. But like him and Charles, the singer for Rorschach, like they don't talk. And Charles is like the sweetest guy ever.
Yeah.
And I just think we are all on the same team.
Sure.
From where we came from, team's a bad analogy because we already talked about sports too much. But we the beefs that we have, I don't know that they're worth. Like we've shared sweat and blood and tears and fucking been criticized by each other and yelled and screamed at each other and banded together to fucking fight the power and fight the skinheads and fight the patriarchy and just, you know, all this shit. And then something comes up where we got our feelings hurt or somebody said something or did something or we felt alienated or isolated or whatever the fuck it is. You know, Kent is like, inside there, he's the sweetest guy.
Yeah.
You know, he rubs people the wrong way because he's so direct and he's so rigid and regimented at first in a lot of the things that he thinks. And there's some things that he will never think differently about. And I think that's great. But I'm not Kent.
Yeah.
I'm totally different than Kent. But I love Kent to death. He came with us to Europe and it was, I lived with him, you know. I was the only person that could sleep in the same room with him because he snores so fucking loud, you know. And I love you. And I feel like the people that I love, and this is probably just from my childhood, is I just want them to be able to be close enough with each other to be able to work through their shit.
Yeah.
Probably never going to happen, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. But that's what I think almost every time that I'm listening to one of your podcasts and he comes up in it. Like when you had Vic Simba on and she's told the story. Let me tell you a story about Kent and what an asshole he was. And I was just like, oh, fuck. But he's not like... And then she resolved it with like... And then he wrote me this really long apologetic letter.
Yeah.
Like I literally like texted her. Like I was like, I'm so glad that you did that.
Yeah.
That you didn't just leave it. Because there's a lot of people that... you know, think he's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that fucking hate him because they've had these limited interactions with him. And, but I think he's awesome. I think you're awesome. And I think you guys could really get along great. But
Yeah,
whatever.
he probably would never come down here or whatever. But I think that like Ebullition was interesting because he kind of came out of the gates swinging with that shit because he had like a whole new aesthetic
Yeah.
that was just very articulated and like very there was a lot of depth to it. And
Yeah.
I think that was like maybe changing punk rock that we knew, because you know, you
I think it was part of it.
Sure. Like, could you imagine, like, you know, Henry writing like a thesis in a Black Flag record? Like, that probably would have been helpful, but also maybe
Yeah.
might have been bad.
Yeah,
but
not great.
But like the Downcast stuff.
And I don't know that our stuff was great either. It just was what we wanted to do.
Struggle just ripped you guys off and fucking wrote our bullshit stories, and it was like, but you know, I was 16 years old or 15 years old. Like, I felt like that's cool. But then there was like the Gimme Back comp, which was just like life changing shit.
Yeah.
It had fucking Bikini Kill on it.
Yeah.
You know, like it had
Yeah.
like all kinds of gnarly stuff, and it was like for a really good cause.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. He's fucking awesome.
Totally.
He's fucking awesome.
Totally.
And like anything, when it starts to gain in some popularity, you get these disciples, you get these people that are starting to, you know, whatever, express themselves the way they think they're supposed to. And, you know, that was rampant all over punk rock and hardcore. I mean, there were people, you know, they were inviting friends that they'd been friends with for years over to their house and being like, you're wearing fucking leather combat boots? You can't come into my fucking house with that shit. I'm like, I get that I get it. I totally get it. I get that you have this line that you have decided that this is a really big fucking deal and you're willing to not be friends with someone over, or you're willing to like say this is a big enough deal, you're going to call it out. Like, I've been there. Like, I was at my parents' house. They put fucking meat on my plate and I'm just like, I don't eat that anymore. Like, I don't do that. And it became a fucking thing with my parents. And then you have to navigate those relationships in your life. And most of us, when we're in our teens and early 20s, are not good fucking communicators. And those lines were drawn, and then there was that whole, like, it got super intense and very specific and kept going further and further, I think, with like the drinking and then the vegetarianism and then the veganism and just all of the politics, trying to just be as I think is like politically conscious, I think was the intent, as possible. And I think along the way, it got, as maybe not it, but things like that tend to get judgy.
Alienating.
People feel alienated and judged if they're not, like, look at this thing I'm doing. I'm creative and I want to be part of this thing and I'm really down with this thing, and I eat meat. It's like, well, no, that's a deal breaker. You can't. And I, you know, for me, it just was never like that. You know, I may have gone that, like, that's why I never wore the X on my hand. I never, you know, I stopped drinking for a long time, partly because I was exposed to straight edge as a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, but mostly because I had a fucking ripping alcohol problem by the time I was 17 years old, because I was raised to be an alcoholic for sure. And when I started drinking again, I was living with Kent at the time, and it was a thing. And I didn't drink very much. I'd have like a beer every couple months or something, and I wouldn't have it in the house. But it was, and maybe it's just from my perspective, but it was a thing. And for me, I'm just not like that. I don't draw those lines about the stuff that's important to me. I'm able to just hold it and say, this is important to me. And I don't really give too much of a fuck what other people do, as long as they're not hurting other people with it.
Or gray area with dialogue, you know, healthy dialogue.
Yeah.
Because I think that happened a lot with hardcore at that time. But again, I think that sort of like rigidness created a lot of really cool shit. I mean, Sam McKeeter is probably one of those. Like, I mean, I don't think Men's Recovery Project would have happened if it wasn't for like Kent being so stern.
And so, you know, and that's why when you say, I think it was off before we started, but there's a show that Born and Raised or Hara played down in San Diego, and, you know, maybe people were rude or whatever. Like, I think we were just collateral damage in that regard a little bit. Like, there's an assumption that we were going to be judgy and whatever, and maybe we were sometimes. You know, like, we're also, you know, 20, 21, to like still develop, like, your dudes' brains don't fucking stop developing till they're like 30. They're figuring out now. Like, adolescence goes to like 30. So it's just like you're just trying to figure out so much shit. That's why I don't worry about too much about, I'm not too critical about shit that I said or did or whatever in my 20s, but it was along the path of becoming the person that I am now. I am hypercritical of the fact that when I was like 25, I thought there's no way a 55-year-old should be playing hardcore. You know, as a 55-year-old, I'm like, fuck you, young Kevin. You don't fucking tell me what to do. I'm still a fucking punk.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like, come say that to my fucking face, you 25-year-old version of yourself.
Yeah, but when you were in your teens, there were no hardcore bands that had been around.
No.
So
I thought Henry Rollins was ancient when I saw him in 1984, and he was probably like 24 or something, you know, 23 or 24. Yeah, so I just like giving people grace and second chances and third chances and fourth chances.
that's nice because there's not a lot of that in this world.
Yeah, I feel like it's helpful. I mean, there's some people like Pete Hegeseth. I think there's no hope for that guy. He's fucked. He's fucked up, and I don't.
Those are people that are maybe a different breed of human.
But as far as like the people that come out of like hardcore and punk rock and stuff like that, I go, yeah, we were trying to figure a lot of stuff out, and because of maybe some of our judginess and rigidity, things like you talked about, like Men's Recovery Project, Antioch Arrow, Heroin, like all kinds of awesome swing kids, you know, like all kinds of fucking awesome shit.
When Swing Kids played that show, our first show with Hara, I don't know if it was your first show. You think you'd already been in band, but Kent was like making fun of us, and it just made us go hard. Like we were just like, all right, this is it. He drew the line in the sand for us, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah,
I think that's cool.
And I think he would probably regret it. I don't know. I can't speak for him.
Yeah,
I don't know what if he regrets making fun of people. But he does not strike me as a person that gets off on making fun of people.
Yeah, it is what it is. But he made the fucking raddest label at the time, and that's really cool. Better than Revelation. I'll say that.
And for us to be a part of that on the ground floor,
fuck yeah,
is incredible.
Yeah.
And you know, having said that, like he came to our show in Laguna Beach that we played like a month or two ago, and then he came to our show in Lompoc and he started talking about this idea that he has about like another compilation record. He's like, compilation records don't really sell anymore, but I kind of want to maybe do something. Probably shouldn't be talking about it, but I want to do something with these bands and think it would be cool, whatever. And I was just like, yeah, okay. And just to be clear, because I'm not 25 anymore, I'm not 20 anymore. Are you asking us to be on this thing? Because you're not saying those words.
Yeah.
And he's like, yes, of course I am. Like, you'd be the centerpiece. Like, I'm in on anything Downcast ever wants to do forever until I fucking die.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's like really touching to me. Like, that makes me feel emotional.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I feel somebody of that, like you, and I'm learning about you, but like people of your caliber that value what we're doing, even now, after all this time, is really special for us. It feels, because it feels special to us. Like playing those two shows was extremely cathartic and felt really important. And
the
really
two
big.
shows that you've
recently played,
okay,
yeah. And it's not like we picked up where we left off. You know, we don't have Dave. My brother plays bass, and that still feels like a really great connection. Like it couldn't be a better fit.
That's a weird thing where people like look at the like I don't want to say reunion bands, but like I struggle with it with Swing Kids, but like Jose Jose and I are like, we can't just do what we did when we stopped. We have to do what is expected of in 2026. It has to be different and better than anything we've ever done in that band. And I think that's a lot of bands shit the bed because they just be like, I'm gonna do what I did in the 90s, and it's like, that's cool, but
I don't know, even like I said, I can't remember so much. Like I don't even know who the fuck I was in the 90s anymore. Like I can't I'm not trying to recreate. We're not trying to recreate anything. Of course.
But like seeing you sing Hate Comes Easy, I understand you struggled with the like subject of that song
at first,
but that's the fucking song that was like, it just changed so much shit for a lot of people. And I get that, but like seeing you sing it and I could see your intensity and your passion and your honesty. That was something that was like, it was. I just want to say, like, I'm grateful that you did it, because also it means the world to people. Yeah.
Thank you. And that's how I had to revisit it. I think it was because of you. Like when you came to see us and
you didn't play it.
You were like, what the fuck?
I mean, I liked all the other songs, but
I know, like, and maybe you did, and maybe you didn't, and that's okay too. But we at that time, so the band is different now, and
so is the world.
Yeah, it's totally everything's different, and the fundamental way that the band is different is that we're more mature and we're healthier with each other.
Yeah.
Like our friendships, and my brother's not my friend. He's him and my wife are my best friends on the planet. But he's my brother.
Yeah.
Like, there's no one that knows me
Yeah.
better than him.
Yeah.
He's known me my whole life. He's known me his whole life. And so we're really connected. And for Brent and I to rekindle our friendship is the most incredible thing about us reforming as a band. I could give a fuck about any of it. I love doing it, and it's awesome. But just the fact, like, if I fucking walked out there and got hit by a fucking truck today, hopefully my life would pass before my eyes. And one of the things I would be really extremely fucking thankful is my reconnection with Brent. Because
he's a special human being.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
And we were so close, so intensely close, and then we weren't. And we're both, probably more me, just so stubborn and so fucked up that I couldn't figure out how to transcend my feelings about that time. And so the fact that he comes and spends the night at my house and he eats food with my family and we practice, and we're so much more like healthy and collaborative than we ever have been, which is how that kind of record, that last record, kind of came to be, because it was like, I don't give a fuck what you want to do. I'm in. Like, just do it. And then I didn't go listen to them record it. I'm a huge micromanager when it comes to shit that I'm going to be involved in. Up to the point where when I was in Born and Raised, I was writing every guitar part, every bass part, every drum part, doing all the vocals, telling everybody what to do.
Whoa.
Like I was kind of psycho about it, and also like just holding a high standard and trying to be really creative, because that's just how I just really want fucking shit to be as good as it can fucking be. And for some reason, I think I have some ability to do that. But I was just like, yeah, I totally trust you guys. Do whatever the fuck you want, which was a huge leap of faith for me, because normally I would just be like, wait, no. And I got to the studio and I was like, man, these songs are slow. I don't know if I can sing good enough to be on this record. It's really produced. Like, we kind of went this direction that I wasn't anticipating or expecting. They called me one time from the studio and said, hey, we're changing the structure of this song. I'm like, you can't change the structure of that song. It literally has 4 parts that have to deal with the north, the south, the east, and the west of Los Angeles. It has to have 4 parts. It's like, yeah, it just doesn't work. We got to make it 3 parts. And I was just like, okay. And I hung up the phone. I was like, fuck, fuck. And then
put it in the liner notes, that you could.
I got in the studio and I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna make this work, and did the best I could. And we put out that record, and some people love that record, and some people hate that record, and some people are like, yeah, you guys, it's overproduced, and you guys went like some crazy like alternative rock direction or whatever. And it's like, yeah, I don't know. Listen to it. Listen to the subject matter. Listen to the. Read the lyrics, and by the way, fuck you. Don't fucking tell me how to make a fucking record. This is my boy Brent. This is my guy.
Yeah.
This is my brother.
Yeah.
This is Sean Sellers, one of my he moved into our, like, he tried out for Downcast, and we're like, no, that you can't do it. You're not good enough. He's like, okay, thanks. Went and got in his car, and he had all of his shit in his car.
Whoa.
What's all that stuff? He's like, oh, I got kicked out of my house. Me and my dad got in a big fight. I don't got anywhere to live. I'm like, okay, you're in the band.
Whoa.
We move in, sleep in my bed. Like, that's how close we were.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it wasn't about the music. It wasn't about all that shit. And so it's just like, I'm very defensive. I'm very self-deprecating, because I know that I'm not like a great musician, and I'm a terrible singer, and all those things I can't carry. But I am the front person for this band of people that I think are fucking geniuses when it comes to music writing and songwriting and music and expressing themselves. And I want to be the mouthpiece and the expression of that. Like, I want to do it the fucking justice it deserves. And I also want us to be really healthy about it this time, because that's not how it was. When we played together, it was like Brent had a part, and we showed Dave how to play what he was supposed to play, and I told whatever drummer we had, this is how it's going to go, and then they were luckily way more talented than me, and they would add their own stuff. But now it's like, what do you guys think about this lyric? Like, we just send it out on a group. I send it on a group chat all the time. Like, what do you guys think about this idea of, like, look at this photo that Becky sent us for a possible cover of the record. Like, which one of these 5? I like this one the best. What do you guys think? We never had conversations like that.
Oh,
back
yeah.
then. Never.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking never. We couldn't. I still remember the day Brent was like, "Are you trying to sing these 3 notes?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, then, hit them." And I'm just like, "Fuck. I'm not a singer. I don't know how to hit those notes. Like, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what I'm doing." And he doesn't remember that, obviously, because it wasn't traumatic for him. But
Wait, what record was that?
that was like literally in like 1991 is the song Sandpaper that we were
Oh.
writing at the time in a garage that ended up on the last
Whoa,
LP.
what the fuck?
That's how long.
Crazy. Okay.
I know. Like,
Yeah.
we just had such terrible communication skills and ability to talk to each other, and now we're just so much better about it. I mean, it's a gift. It's a fucking gift being in this band again, and I know it's weird, and it maybe feels like a reunion thing. It's not a reunion thing. It's just like
You just
it's just what we're doing.
paused and now you're back at it.
It was a big pause.
Reunion sounds like it's got kind of a nasty word named. Or
Yeah, we're already
vibe to
writing
it.
new stuff. We've got, I mean, Brent and I have collaborated probably 80 or 90% Brent and 10 or 20% me, but he's prolific. I mean, he released a whole solo thing on his own that he put out a few months ago by himself with no label, just like released it on shit. He's like you and he's like super fucking talented.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I shouldn't have laughed.
I don't consider myself it, but yeah. I
Well, maybe
appreciate
you
it.
should listen to some of your records because I was listening to them on the way. I was listening to them on the way
When
down
they're
here,
done, they're
and
done.
you're the fucking shit.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's fucking awesome. But
But that's why we had you on here, because and you were like tripping out and shit. But you are the shit, dude. Like you as much as you, and I get it. Like especially as a singer and of a hardcore band, like I can't sing notes. I'm not fucking Mike Patton. I don't know how to do that shit. But like, dude, you did something. It's art, and that's subjective. You know what I'm saying?
Agree, I
like,
agree.
and it holds so much. There's so much validity to what it is. It's not black and white. You're the gray area of the argument. Like there's stuff there.
I'm not a big thinker. I don't know what the point of art is. It feels to me like something should be connected to basically you get vulnerable and express yourself, and that I'm really good at. I'm okay. I'm just like, I don't like doing it, but I feel like it's important. Like if Brent writes a song and says these lyrics are important to me, I'm gonna fucking make sure that everyone knows how fucking important these lyrics are.
Wait, so what did you just say? How'd you just explain music? Because what you just
I
said
don't
is
know.
like the thing.
I feel like, I don't know. We'll have to probably rewind the
The
tape.
vulnerability.
Yeah, I feel like it's like getting vulnerable and expressing yourself, like expressing how you feel about something. Like what's more vulnerable than saying, painting a painting, right? And you're like, I'm done, and I think this is good, and I think this is like something, and this means something to me, and then you fucking hang it in a gallery and people look at it, or you make a fucking song. And you put it out on a record and you send it out in the world for everyone to judge and listen to and fucking decide whatever the fuck they think about it. Like you that's a crazy fucking process. It's crazy to do that. Like my wife, when we played in Laguna, my wife's like, these are great videos. I want to hear what you said in between songs. I'm like, people don't record that, babe. Like that's not a thing. They want to see the kids, they want to see the old guy.
Yeah.
What stupid moves is he going to do this time? Whatever. Like it's the energy there. And she's just like, I talked to our daughter because our daughter went to the show. She's like, she said, you said some pretty rad stuff. And I'm like, I kind of black out. I don't know.
Yeah.
I had,
you transcend.
yeah, I had some ideas of what I wanted to say because there's a lot of things to talk about right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of our music and songs correlate, unfortunately, to things that happened then and things that are happening now, even worse.
Yeah, I know.
In a lot of fucking ways. She's like, I talked to our daughter and she said, you said some pretty rad things and I want to know what you think about those things because that's not my thing. Like I don't go, I'm going to tell you how I feel about ice right now.
Yeah.
I just don't, I value the people that do. I think that's awesome. People that put on their Instagram, a photo of them, I'm part of a watch group in Ventura County in Ojai that's I'm trying to get trained up so that I can do more than just like report. It's called VC Defensa, and you know, when you see ICE, you just text the number and then they send people and record. And I mean, I feel like I would like to do more, so I want to do more. I want to get trained. How far can I do this? Because this is fucking the most bullshit fucking thing happening. But like, I just kind of I had some stuff I wanted to say, and then Brent's like, "You got to keep talking because I can't get the guitar to work." And I'm like, that's when I was like, oh God, this is actually happening. This is real. Like I was like, hey everybody, thanks for coming. Like, why don't you move up? And it's like so nice to see you. And And I'm like, okay, you guys fucking ready? Brent's like, you gotta keep talking. I was like, I turned around and then the guitar worked, and I was just like, we're Downcast from All Points, California, and then I can't remember fucking anything for like the next 30 minutes.
Wonderful.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing too.
What part?
Well, when people sent me videos and I was just like, oh.
Shut up.
But
Killer.
I
dude.
don't care.
Killer,
I
though.
don't give a you know, that's my own ego going, oh yeah.
Yeah, but the fact that you went fucking berserk
and I will always
and you
do
not
that.
know what happened, it shows that it's like genuine and honesty, and that's fucking
and that's
rad.
part of the thing. Like, I'm not the best singer. I'm not the best artist. I'm not the best musician. I'm not any of that stuff. Specifically, hardcore and punk rock to me was always about the people that had the fucking guts and the vulnerability to get up there and just put the fucking thing out.
That's the thing, is you don't have to be the best. You just
don't.
have to be
you be yourself.
One of them.
Yeah,
you know, one of them.
Yeah, just go do it. Just go fucking do it.
There's no best.
No.
There really isn't.
No.
And I think it's important that you just do what you did.
It's so subjective. People have favorites, but the fact that you say it changed our life, and that the fact that Kent says he's all in on no matter what we decide to do, and that you guys invited me to do this podcast, and that we're still affecting people. Mm-hmm. People are like, you know, we started an Instagram account, and people are sending me such the sweetest messages all the time. Mm-hmm. I mean, when we had our baby, people sent us like onesies from all over the planet, like punker, you know, future punker, or whatever, like shit like that, like, you know, and it's hard to talk about in like your 50s at like a dinner party for your wife's work or something. You know, it's like, well, why is your voice so hoarse? And it's like, and she's just like, yeah.
Because he sings in a fucking gnarly hardcore band.
It's time for you to bring all your worlds together, because for a long time they were all separated. Mm-hmm. You know, once I had kids, I was like, oh fuck, I got to figure out how to support this family. I don't know how to do that because I didn't have a college degree, I didn't have a real job and everything, and so I started doing shit. And then when I got on the fire department many years later, it was really like, no, these two worlds do not mix, you know. And now, you know, she's just like, this is who you are. If you lose friends because you said something about something that you believe in,
those shouldn't be your friends.
They're not your friends. And I'm like, you're right.
Also, that goes back to like the Kent thing, where like, you know, you're like, you earned this or you're doing that, like whatever. You're just saying like, I feel this way, not pointing your finger at someone. Yeah. And if someone can't align with that or respect that or have discourse or a conversation with you, then fuck them. Yeah. You know. And
that was some of the feedback that I got from some of the stuff that I said that I wasn't real conscious about. But my brother was like, I was really, and Brent too, they were both really sweet about it. They were just like, you brought those rooms together. Like you really connected everyone in that room. Like it was palpable. Because of the things that you said and the way you said it. It wasn't alienating. It wasn't, and I don't have a problem with alienating. Like I think that's very valuable sometimes.
Totally.
You know, that's why I always value, you know, you as a front man. I value, we both value Sam McFeeters as a front man. Like there's a place for that in punk rock and hardcore and all that stuff. That's just not who I am as a person. And so if that's not who I am as a person, I'm not going to try to be something fake and do something different as a hardcore singer. I'm just going to be myself and express these super deep emotional fucking things that I feel in front of people with a fucking rad, gnarly, crazy fucking hardcore band behind me backing me up. And that's what Downcast has always been. That's what it always will be. And I couldn't be more thankful that we're doing it again. I'm really fucking stoked.
I'm glad you are too. Okay, I want to say that I'm grateful that you exist. I exist in my world, and I'm glad that you're here. And likewise. I fucking love you, dude. You're such a important human being.
You're making me cry. I love you too. I love you too. Thank you.
Open it with crying, close it with crying.
Yeah. Fuck.
That was great. You're awesome, man.
Welcome back, everybody.
We hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, indeed.
This was up with sponsors.
Also, thanks to our sponsors. Satan, the primary sponsor.
Yeah.
Always.
Earthquaker, Michael, Joey, Johnny, Ricky, and Mike. New edition.
We pretty much hit the bed.
Yeah.
We're psyched that you watched this. We hope you dug it. We hope you check out all of our other stuff. We appreciate you. Check out our compilation that we put out. Features Satanic Planet and a bunch of other bands. It's pretty gnarly.
Yep.
Thanks to Smash Plastic. We're going to just, wrap this up. But we will see you on the next episode.
Cult and Culture is a Ruinous Media podcast proudly sponsored by Earthquaker Devices, Heartwork Coffee, 3110 Printing, Kindred, Smashed Plastic Record Pressing, and San Diego Food Shed.
Planet B.